Good morning, everybody. My name is Mauricio Rios, and I'm going to give you a presentation on about the research, the latest developments in AIDS research. Okay. Now, what is HIV? Is HIV equal AIDS? Could anybody answer me that? Correct. HIV is the earlier stages of the virus, and AIDS is basically when your immune system is so low that even a sneeze could potentially kill you. Now, to elaborate a little bit more on this, what is HIV? HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. AIDS stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. And like I explained to you, HIV is the earlier stages of the virus, and AIDS is the later stages. Now, HIV is carried in blood or bodily fluids, and that's how it will enter society. Furthermore, I would like to elaborate on this. The World Health Organization and UNICEF did a census, if you will, and to put in perspective of how worldwide this epidemic is. In 2013, out of the 7 billion people in the world, approximately 35 million of them are living with HIV. Out of those 7 billion people, approximately 2 million of them are newly infected with HIV. And out of those 7 billion people in the earth, approximately 1.5 million of them have died because of AIDS-related causes. Now notice how I say AIDS-related causes, because people don't really die because of HIV. They die because of AIDS. Now let's get started talking about the latest development in HIV research. Now, pregnant women, may God forbid that they're ever infected with the virus, but if they are, nowadays, they could take a medicine that will prevent their child from being born with HIV. Which is very, very important because, you know, to put it in perspective, let's say in the baby boomers, if one of the kids was born before these medicines were made, and they were born with HIV, then, you know, they had no control, no fault of their own, they were born with the virus. So now they want to have a child, and thanks to these medicines, they could actually have a child without having to live the life they live. Which is into my next medicine, which is called an antiretroviral drug. And it kind of works kind of like the morning after pill, if any of you know about it. But basically, if taken within a short period of time after you've been exposed to the HIV virus, it will be able to abort the virus and you will not become HIV positive. Now, the most latest one, in 2015, just last month, the Scripps Institute of Research pulled out this article that talks about this molecule that once it enters the bloodstream, it attaches itself to the HIV virus and it inactivates it. This is exciting because inactivating means that once it binds itself to the virus, it will not allow you to get infected and it will prevent you from becoming infected again in the future. Right now, it's in the early stages of research, but that will lead me to my next slide, which, in conclusion, is I'm going to quote a researcher from the Scripps Institute, and he says, "We have developed an artificial antibody that once in the blood grabs hold of the virus and inactivates it. The molecule can eliminate HIV from infected monkeys and protect them from future infections." Now, there's two major contributors in research. Now, I'm going to tell you about it. One of them is research, the researchers and everybody in the research team, and the other one is the research animals and everybody who takes care of them. Those are one of the two major contributors. And there's the directly affected ones, which are infected, and you know they're also part of the team also, that they're just infected with the virus. Now, a quick quiz. Does anybody know who are the two major contributors for the HIV research? You got it. And this is a quick picture to kind of like show you. That's a researcher, and you know it could also interpret the people taking care of the animals. And that's just one of the animals that could be used for research. That is a rat model. They go from rats and mice to as big as monkeys. Now, any questions or answers?
Good job. Is there a specific reason they use monkeys?
They first started with rats, and what they do is they find the rats that have 3 different parts of their body system that's kind of similar to us, and then they inject them with the virus, and then once that becomes successful, then move on to bigger animals like monkeys, for example. They have closer similarities how they process the virus to us. They get infected, and if they're able to pass it after a numerous amount of times, then it will go on to human trials. Thank you so much. Yes?
The children that are born by a mother that is infected and they don't take that medication, they for sure are going to have the AIDS
Yes.
virus on. They're going to,
For sure.
So they're going to have to live that all their life.
They will have to be HIV positive. But luckily, the medicine now has evolved to such a degree that they could live with HIV positive and it will never progress to AIDS. So they will stay alive for the whole life as HIV positive. Now that you mentioned that, has anybody heard of Magic Johnson, the basketball player? He was diagnosed with HIV positive in early 90s, 91 I think. So he's been living HIV positive till now, and he's super healthy. You've seen him, he looks well, he looks fine, because he's taking the medicine to keep him HIV positive. His immune system is still strong. But anyways, thank you everybody for being here. And if I have any time, does anybody want to volunteer to demonstrate how the molecule works in the body? Thank you, come in. Okay, so this young lady is going to represent the cell. You're going to put your hand like this. And this young man is going to represent the virus of HIV. Okay? So the virus, what does he do? He goes like this and looks around for the cell and grabs onto the cell. And then the infection takes place. So what does the molecule do when you let go? The molecule comes and it binds itself to the HIV virus. So when the HIV virus tries to look for the cell and tries to bind it in, it's not able to. So that's the way that it works.
Okay.
Just do a quick explanation.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.